for this program in a rebuilding year, no doubt, but look at the red and white out there.
Tyra Clary will get the start for the Raging Cajuns, the senior from Reno, Nevada, making her 10th appearance of the year, her 8th start, 4-2 record-wise, 3.53 ERA. In 37 innings, she's walked 19. She struck out 16. She last threw on Friday night against ULM and had a good outing. She did give up 7 hits, but only 3 runs. Struck out 2. The key for her, she did not walk a single batter.
She's going to throw in the low to mid 60s. She has all the pitches, Dan. She's going to use that curve and change primarily, and really likes to pitch down in the zone.
And she will face a power-laden LSU lineup, one of the best hitting teams, not just in the SEC, but in the country. They're hitting .369 as a team. 2 players hitting right at the .500 mark, and 6 different players hitting over .400 this year, including the leadoff hitter, Danica Coffey, hitting .506 on the year. Ranks in the top 5 in the SEC in batting.
Leading off for the Tigers, number 13.
And head coach Beth Torino really likes her in the leadoff spot.
Danica Coffey may be the best leadoff hitter in the country. I mean, you'd be hard to find anybody else that has the numbers that Coffey has.
First pitch from Clary, a little bit down low for ball 1. Johnny Paz calls the balls and strikes tonight. Mike Thibodeau is at first. Jared Arrington over at third, assigned out of the Sun Belt.
Coffey missed, she probably was there for the first third of the season last year, went down with an injury, and, you know, I firmly believe that that injury probably kept LSU from being maybe in the Women's College World Series, and more, well, not important because the Women's College World Series is the goal, but LSU probably would have gotten a super regional.
1-1 from Clary. Up a little high and in, 2 balls and 1 strike. Coffey, .506, but she does have 11 extra base hits this year, including 2 home runs, 28 RBIs out of the leadoff spot.
Look at the walks, Dan. That's what's so impressive also.
Normal left fielder Kayla Falterman out still for an undetermined time after that concussion she suffered over the weekend.
And that's a big out right there for Clary, because a lot of people have had trouble getting Coffey out.
Aaron Ardwin switches over from right field to left field. Deja Williams takes over in right field, and the loss of Falterman is just huge for this team, hitting .432, leading the Cajuns in hitting.
Yeah, leading the Cajuns in hitting, but coming up in big situations and driving in RBIs to keep the game, send the game into extra innings the other night.
Jayla Lassiter, the center fielder, hitting .340 on the year, 1 homer, 21 runs batted in.
Lassiter, a transfer from Ole Miss. Last year, LSU could not get her out in their series with Ole Miss, and once she got into the portal, Beth Torino jumped on her quick. Jumped on her quick. She had lost the center fielder, and you're right. If you can't beat them, get them to join you.
1-1 outside as Savannah White tried to frame it up for plate umpire Johnny Paz. Wasn't buying it.
And of course, it's no secret the bugaboo for the Cajun pitchers is to throw strikes. Work ahead, stay ahead, don't lose your head.
2-1 pitch, tapped foul outside third baseline. Sam Rowe almost made the play in foul ground. There's a look at Beth Torino, the head coach for the Tigers.
Good job.
She's been at this park at 2 different schools.
Absolutely, yeah. She kind of knows what it's like to play in front of this crowd before she was wearing purple.
2-2 is up high, and now we're full. And I'll be honest, I don't even remember what color Florida International wore.
You know. You're right.
I don't remember. I blocked it out of my memory. Second meeting of the year between these 2 teams. And one of only 2 non-conference road games that the Tigers will play this year. They did play the tournament in Fullerton, where they happened to play Fullerton on its home field.
Good Lord, is that true? I didn't even look at that.
They only play 2 non-conference road games, and the other one is down the road in Lake Charles. And speaking of down the road, Macy Bergeron from nearby Rain, Louisiana. Well, what a high school career she had at Notre Dame.
And she's having a fabulous year this year for the Tigers. She has the light switch has really turned on for her. She looked a little lost as a freshman. She was better as a sophomore, but she's like an All-American, on an All-American pace right now.
451 on the year, 7 homers, 30 runs batted in. She's also walked 28 times and only struck out 7.
And you know, of course, in the Cajun dugout calling pitches is a former Tiger, and so she kind of knows a lot about maybe these swings and some of these hitters. Better start than the Cajuns had in Baton Rouge.
Tigers scored 6 runs in the bottom of the first inning in that game 2 weeks ago. But here's one that can provide runs in a hurry. Tori Edwards is off to a blazing start power-wise. 11 homers, 44 runs batted in.
Dan, we have 2 of the premier first basemen in college softball, both freshmen.
Both of them freshmen.
Just phenomenal players.
And besides, I just like saying Flower Mound, Texas.
Flower Mound. Both of these young ladies, I mean, they pack a punch, and they can hit.
1-0 pitch, misses outside. Clary obviously trying to work her just outside the zone. And I've been racking my brain. There was a member of the Cajun.
Yeah, the Tigers don't steal that much, but that was a good pitch to run on. And
they don't steal that much, but they also don't let opponents steal that much. Opponents have only attempted 8 stolen bases against them this year. They're 5 for 8.
Savannah White's a good catcher back behind the plate.
Savannah White's a great story, too, for Louisiana behind the plate. For people who are not familiar with it, she had finished her playing career. She was already coaching at a small school in Arkansas when she got word that Louisiana was looking for a third start. She is 2-0 with a 2.80 ERA, but it's only thrown 15 innings all year.
Yeah, she hadn't thrown much for the Tigers. She is a redshirt, as you said. She was at McNeese, was fabulous at McNeese, probably all Southland Conference pitcher. She has a very good change that kind of just drops off the table. She's got a good screw to righties and lefties, and of course she has a ton of experience, and as you said, has thrown in this ballpark before.
Maddie Hayden will lead things off for Louisiana. Takes the first pitch fastball in for call strike 1. Vallejo this year, 15 innings. She's given up 15 hits, 6 runs. She's only walked 2, struck out 8.
Got Berzon, the 2-time All-American. You've got Heavner, who pitched against the Cajuns in Baton Rouge, and not a lot of innings to spare sometimes for Vallejo and Clopton and Casanova. That rounds out the bullpen.
1-1 pitch, misses away. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike to Hayden, hitting .365 on the year, 10 runs batted in. Starting at center field and at the top of the lineup for the 31st straight game this year. Tries to get the bunt down, bunts through it, and counts even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Younger sister, a former Cajun, 4 times All Sun Belt pick and 1-time All-American, Haley Hayden.
And what did she hold the record for? A run score?
I believe it is run scored. As the 2-2's fouled back, it'll remain 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I was surprised at the record of Tiffany Clark still holding the record for the most hits.
Well, now, she was pretty good.
I know she was good. She's in the Hall of Fame, but
exactly.
I'm surprised that it's lasted this long, but she was good. She's on a cruise right now, and otherwise I'm sure she would just be blowing up my phone.
Haley Hayden still holds the school record for runs scored in a career.
That's
251. Tiffany Clark holds the record. So 1 gone for Cecilia Vasquez.
I love the
junior
music.
Shortstop.
I love her walk-up music.
Big cut and a miss at a breaking ball. And while we have a chance, right after this pitch, 0-1 misses outside. Say hello to Cece's dad, Enrique, sports broadcaster, serves as the Spanish play-by-play voice of the Houston Texans. He's called a couple of Super Bowls, also worked for the Oilers, the Cowboys, and the Chicago Bears. So hopefully he's watching, and hopefully he's critiquing us tonight.
Does he ever get to come to the games? You should have him come up here and
That's a great idea.
Do one of our jobs. My job. He can do my job.
Oh, no, he's the play-by-play guy, so he would have to sit in for me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to take your job away from you.
Oh, no, well, hey, for that, I would gladly step aside for a game.
But he could do in Spanish.
I would need to ask CC if maybe that can happen.
Yeah.
One game. I think it would be
at least for an inning or so.
Yeah, I think it would be a lot of fun. 3-1 the count to Vasquez.
Still got the promoter in me also.
Well, yeah.
Good pitch there.
Cuts the outside corner. So full up to Vasquez with 1 out. Leads the Cajuns and runs back.
That big-time road trip that I'm sure Allison Habits will never schedule again.
This pitch on the inside corner. Nice pitch from Vallejo for call strike 1.
Emily Smith is a very impressive-looking freshman. We got to have 2 of the best first basemen in the country right now playing in this game, and they are both freshmen.
Went after one up high and maybe out of the zone, and quickly Smith down, no balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, she got her with the rise ball that was out of the zone, and Emily smiling because she knows that, ooh, she got me on that one.
Field at the corners. This one's way up high. Tried to get her fishing again.
Yep, wanted to climb the ladder there, but I think Emily kind of made an adjustment after she swung at the first one, saying, I'm not doing that again.
Coffey and Edwards are both back at the bag.
Oh, she's got some power. I'd play back too.
This one misses outside, not by much.
Yeah, I tried to get her to swing at that curveball off the plate.
Inning. Cajuns nothing, Tigers nothing. Sierra Daniel, the second baseman, will lead off the top of the second inning for the Tigers against Tyra Clary. 20 pitches in the first inning. Gave up a couple of walks, but worked around those. Did not give up a hit. Daniel hitting .417 on the year. A couple of homers, 17 runs batted in. Pops this one on the left side, but that'll be foul into the screen just over the top of the Cajun dugout. Chandler, a product of Chandler, Arizona. Came as a freshman last year as the 0-2 just misses outside. It's a ball and 2 strikes.
It was a battle at second base, and Daniels has kind of taken over. She didn't play that much as a freshman, had some spot duty, but it's pretty much locked in right now at second base.
1-2, again foul over the Louisiana dugout. Look out over there. One ball and 2 strikes on a beautiful evening.
It is
81 degrees when we started.
Beautiful day in Southwest. Pitch from here. I don't think Beth Torina thought so. Let's see here. I'm thinking that Tiger, that's the second time they've looked at a pitch at their knees. Blue likes them there, so you got to adjust to pitchers, and sometimes you have to adjust to the blue.
Jaden Lanou hitting .369 on the year. No homers, 11 runs batted in. Takes the first pitch strike from Clary.
Lanou has made a couple of game-saving catches for the Tigers in left field this year.
Came out of Marietta, Georgia.
Trying to nibble, nibble, nibble.
Every time you talk game-saving catches over at Tiger Park, I keep remembering Maya Davis's catch.
Yes.
From
Saved
2 years ago.
At one of the best catches I think I've ever seen. How she didn't have a concussion. I mean, she slammed into the outfield fence. Thank God it was padded.
2-1 misses away.
It was almost like a Willie Mays catch over her shoulder, not looking. Well, maybe I'm embellishing a little bit, but it was phenomenal.
up until the last two meetings. And of course, LSU with a run rule 14-0 win earlier this year at Tiger Park. But other than those two games, this series has been really good between these two teams.
Well, you have two premier softball programs in the country, 60 miles apart. And, you know, everybody in the country in softball knows about the Tigers and definitely knows about the Cajuns.
Sam Rowe leads things off for Louisiana, the bottom of the second inning. Rowe hitting .267, 3 homers, 16 runs batted in. She had the walk-off home run on Friday night.
Of course, Rowe transferred from Florida, so she knows about playing in the SEC against LSU and played against them last year.
Had 60-plus hits and 30-plus RBIs in 103 games with Florida in her first 2 years.
And Vallejo has fallen behind 3-1 here.
And then Rowe hit .320 last year. Vallejo with the 3-1 pitch fouled away. Vallejo threw 21 pitches in the first inning against only 4 hitters. Gave up a leadoff hit, but then got 3 outs. And stranded a runner at third base. For a second.
I did too, and you gotta have to laugh with the fans, you know, when she hit the ball in the air. Oh, and I thought it was going over the fence, but it wasn't even close.
Actually, an easy play for Rudity out in right field as Lainey Crater will stand in, the designated player. She is the one that the Cajuns would really like to see get rolling this year, only hitting .215 after she hit .331 with 7 homers last year.
I saw her before the game, and I gave her a big hug, and I said, you were pretty happy the other day, wasn't you? I said, maybe this is the start of it.
Had a big 3-run double in the final game of the series against ULM. Check that in the middle game against ULM as the 1-1 is up high.
Leo is working behind a lot.
And you wonder if some of that is just
having
not thrown a lot of innings.
Yeah, she had thrown a lot of innings. You're correct on that.
Catches
That's a
the
good-looking
outside corner.
screwball there. Cajun fans don't like it, but it's perfectly placed.
15 innings this year. 2.80 ERA, making her 3rd start of the season. Tried to come with the screwball again. It stays outside. She's gone full on now 3 Cajun hitters. Big time reaction. That's those quick twitch fibers.
Yep, that's why she usually plays third base, and she's got some ups there, and you can't hit it any better, and you can't catch it any better. And Lainey has hit the ball hard and doesn't have a lot to show for it.
So 2 gone for Savannah White, Cajun catcher.
And Coffee with the athleticism. Beth Torina talks about how athletic and fast this Tiger team is.
.1-0 just misses inside. It's a ball and a strike. White played her whole collegiate career at Campbell University with the Fighting Camels from 2022 to 2025.
Do camels fight? I know they bite.
Well, they do bite. I think they spit on each other.
And they sit on you.
Yeah, they will do that.
Like her truck stop.
This pitch is down low. She was coaching at Arkansas State Mountain Community College, 30 minutes from her hometown. Throughout the summer, she was only a few days away from players arriving in August when she got a text and then a phone call.
How about you read her resume after this? It'll be pretty cool.
And she obviously she's already got a little coaching background, and she'll get more next year.
Oh, yeah.
She's going to stick around and be a graduate assistant, part-time coach for the Cajuns.
She's a competitor. Look at those eyes. Hanging tough.
3-2 is fouled away again, going full. This is 4 times out of the first 7 Cajun hitters that Vallejo's gone full.
We'll see who wins this little battle here.
Since the opening hit by Hayden, no score in this one. 1 hit for the Cajuns, no hits for the Tigers. They have had 3 base runners on walks given up by Tyra Clary, but she's been able to work around that through the first 2 innings. And first pitch up a little high and in, ball 1. Coffey. Her batting average all the way down to 500 now.
I knew it was going to be something that we could joke about.
And you were right. The remarkable figure on her, 33 walks.
I mean, and she's the leadoff hitter, so you know the pitching coach and all those dugouts are like, are you killing me? You're going to walk the leadoff hitter who can steal bases? And
taps that one foul. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike, and that's in just 31 games.
Yeah.
So she is getting more than a walk per game, and also doesn't strike out at the top of the order. Only 5 strikeouts all year in now 85 at-bats and almost 120 plate appearances.
She's a 5th-year senior, and she's truly having the best year of her career and has become a true leader of this Tiger team.
2-1 pitch is in on the inside corner at the knees.
Clary's making some big pitches.
And she's getting that low strike. Well, both pitchers are so far. Johnny Paz has that low strike zone.
And that'll keep the ball in the ballpark.
Because Kayla Falterman out for an undetermined time, and I know the Cajuns will love to get her back pretty soon, considering the meat of Sun Belt Conference play is coming up quickly.
Well, you got Deja Williams out there that can cover some ground.
Jayla Lassiter drew a walk her first time up. Takes the first pitch, misses ball 1, and Savannah White's going to go out and have a quick conversation with Tyra Clary. Only 4 of the first 10 hitters have put it in play between the walks and the 3 strikeouts that Clary has recorded.
You know, those walks kind of mess with timing and kind of getting adjusted to Blue's zone, too. A couple of hitters have maybe not thought it was called strike 3. So they'll have to learn that, as you pointed out.
11 hits, 14 runs in that first meeting up at Tiger Park just 2 weeks ago tonight. Louisiana also had 3 errors in that game, and pitchers walked 7 batters.
Pretty hard to win. 3 errors, 7 walks.
Macy Bergeron fouls away the first pitch, strike 1. Struck out looking her first time up.
And Clary probably has the best changeup on the Cajun staff. And she's using it very effectively so far.
Bergeron, the product of Notre Dame High School in Crowley, came out of rain as this one's up high.
And changeups against a best, very aggressive, good hitting team is, I believe, the best pitch you can throw. Keep them off balance. That's what hitting the Raging Cajuns. Pat Murphy and I are with Patty Gasso at Venice Beach in California, and we found those shirts for $8. We had them monogrammed.
Mia Lascano takes a ball and then fouls this pitch.
How about
away.
those 2 names, Patty Gasso and Patrick Murphy?
Now, was that when was Patty still coaching in the West Coast then?
Yes, she was at Long Beach City College,
before
and we
she
were
came
really
to
good
Oklahoma.
friends.
0-2 the count to Lascano as this pitch is up high and tight. Lascano hitting .295 this year, hitting in the number 8 spot tonight as lead runner on base.
Yeah, and the Slappers like what they're seeing from Vallejo. You get that ball up in the Slappers' eyes and it's not moving through the zone. It's the best pitch for them to hit. And she does a good job of staying on that pitch and going with it.
That'll bring up Aaron Ardwin. And you've got 2 teammates from last year pitching and hitting. Art McNeese played the 3 seasons there up to 2024.
I'd probably say she knows what Vallejo has.
But Vallejo probably knows what Ardwin likes and doesn't like.
True. You're right. Even Steven.
Sacrifice number 43 on the year for Louisiana, the second category that they lead the country in.
Old school, love it. What are we looking at?
Plate umpire Johnny Paz was over toward the LSU dugout and now talking to Lacey Prejean, the Cajun assistant coach, who also, of course, has SEC connections, played at Alabama.
Okay, so we got the runner back at first. What's going on?
I wonder if they're saying she was out of the box when she put the bunt down. Lascano is back at first base.
Can we see this? I don't know if we can see the replay of this. Lacey Prejean's not happy with the call. Tori Edwards looks like she doesn't know what's going on at first.
But it's Aaron Ardoin's back at the plate.
Foul ball? Did it come off? That's a play Edwards makes a lot, but doesn't this time. Hodge kind of just leaves that short.
Yeah, that's in the dirt. That's going to be an error on the throw. I'm assuming that is.
She had to get rid of it quick.
Yep.
It was going to be close.
8th error of the year for Hodge at shortstop. So Hayden's at first base. Deja Williams grounded out her first time up. And what was in effect a swinging sacrifice. 1-0 is in for call strike.
It might have been, we'll see how this plays out, but you could have a runner on second base right now. That ball in the dirt.
This one's up and in. If you had the runner at first on that ground, that double play.
Yep.
That will likely be a base hit for Williams. And it is scored as a base hit, moving Hayden over to third base. Cajuns' third hit of the ball game.
Daniels diving kind of caused that ball to go to right field, but it was true hustle on Daniels' part, and she almost made a play. But now the Cajuns have runners on first and third.
Cecilia Vasquez grounded out her first time up. Leads Louisiana in RBIs this year at Beth Torina. On her way to the circle. A quick conversation with Vallejo.
Let's see, who's the runner at first? Deja Williams, and third.
Hayden at third. You've got good speed both places.
I think she's going to try a first and third.
Wouldn't be a big surprise if they tried the double steal here.
Yep.
To try to get an early run.
And if not, just to try to throw the run.
And I'm sure that's one of the situations that's being talked over. Both these teams will be back in conference play this weekend. Louisiana will travel to Conway, South Carolina for a 3-game set with Coastal Carolina. And speaking of Carolina, the Tigers are back at home. They will take on South Carolina.
That is so funny. I mean, LSU baseball's playing Cajun Louisiana baseball, and then they're playing 2 Carolina teams this weekend.
And speaking of that baseball game in Baton Rouge, Louisiana scored a run in the top of the first. They lead that one early 1-0 as a nice pitch this time from Vallejo cuts the plate right at the knees. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. That one just fouled away. Hayden was going to try to score just to make sure, but it did come off the bat. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Get a look at it there. Yep, it did change direction. This one misses away. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Vasquez hitting .368 this year with runners in scoring position. And she has Hayden at third base. This one's popped up, but it'll get out of play, back up into the screen and over the roof area. Count will stay 2 balls and 2 strikes. Vasquez has been the team's RBI leader almost since the start of the year, but her average has slipped a little bit over the last couple of weeks. Although she's still driving in runs, and I guess that's the important thing, is that 2-2 is outside.
I've been wrong about the first and third. Well.
And if you are the Cajun coaching staff and you want the bases loaded, who would you like to have at the plate? Emily Smith this year, 7 home runs.
And as the pitching coach, you wanted that previous out.
2 homers over the weekend against ULM. And this pitch a little up and away as Smith's able to hold up.
I don't know if we can see the Tiger bullpen to see if they have anybody up and throwing. I certainly can't see it.
Hard to see behind that fence area. 1-0 pitch, fouled back. Smith had a pretty good cut at it. It's 1-1.
Where is it? Behind the scoreboard?
Right behind the scoreboard.
Still.
Tigers have options there. 4 pitchers with sub-2 ERAs available. 1-1 pitch. Change catches the outside corner. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Smith. Vallejo getting the sign from the dugout.
Yeah, I was going to say she better take a time here. She had to have been running out. So we have no clock here, right?
Not a visible clock,
okay.
But it's being kept by the
third base umpire.
I think the third base umpire. 1-2 pitch is up high. Smith had a big weekend in the series against ULM. She was 6 for 8. Kiss scores.
And Beth Torina, is she going to make a change?
She's coming to the home plate umpire. I think we're going to have a change in the circle here in the 3rd inning. Vallejo was cruising through the first couple, but 3 hits, a walk, and an error have accounted for 3 runs here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Pitching change as Jaden Heavner will come in. Cajuns are very familiar with her. Had a great outing 2 weeks ago against the Cajuns.
She did. Just a freshman. She's been pretty impressive. She has a ton of movement on her pitches, Dan. Her best pitch is her curveball. And unique fact is that she's the first left-hander since 1997 for the Tigers. Threw the first perfect game as a freshman in Tiger history. Of course, we had the Cajuns had a really good lefty, and Cheryl Ojaway.
Yes, All-American, pitched you to the World Series. Samro takes the 1-1 outside. Heavner threw the complete 5-inning game 2 weeks ago at Tiger Park. Only gave up 1 hit. She did walk 4, but she struck out 6.
But she had so much support in that first inning. The Tigers came out and just exploded on the Cajuns, so she was just free to throw.
2-1 is fouled away. Smith at second base after the 3-run double. Fouled away again. Count will stay 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rose senior from Destin. All Sun Belt second team last year. Second baseman to get there. As Rowe gets the RBI single, and Louisiana leads it 4-0 as Smith scores from second base. Laney Crater lined out hard to the third baseman Coffey. That's what I was looking at. Already looking at the next hitter. And swings and misses at this one. It's no balls and 2 strikes.
Of course, the Tigers had Briggs in the center field for 4 years. She was just incredible.
Did not miss by much. Sierra Briggs, now part of the
coaching staff.
Tiger coaching staff. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Allison Habits, Cajun head coach, with a conversation with Laney Crater. And you can, if you look at the roster, you see Crater's hometown listed as Old Mines, Missouri. You might ask how a Crater winds up there. She does have grandparents that still live in the Carencro area.
And I think they're here at every game, right below our broadcast.
Exactly.
I see some people with Crater on their
They're sitting
shirts
down there right now. The 1-2 pitch. This is low and in. Coffey made a big-time stab on her line drive back in the 2nd inning. This one's fouled back into the screen. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rowe at first base.
And all the runs scored were with 2 outs, correct?
They had the double play to start the inning.
Yep.
But since then, an error, a hit, a walk, and then Smith cleared the bases as this one's nubbed over toward the Cajun dugout. Count stays 2-2.
Cajuns now have 5 hits. The Tigers have 0.
This is after the Tigers out-hit the Cajuns 11-1 just 2 weeks ago.
Every game has a life of its own. Every game. You play 56 games. There's a lot of things that can happen in 56 games.
In the Tiger lineup. We mentioned baseball just a moment ago. Cajuns got 1 in the top of the first, but the Tigers have exploded in baseball. They now lead Louisiana 9-1. They still playing in the 1st inning.
It's just so weird that both teams are playing tonight. I don't think it's ever happened in the history.
Probably not. Tori Edwards leads things off for the Tigers. Walked her first time up. Takes a first pitch outside and low from Tyra Clary, who's thrown 46 pitches through the first 3. She's given up 3 walks. Has yet to give up a hit. And she's now retired the last 4 she faced after an up and down 3rd. The 2-0.
Clary's done a outstanding job of LSU team. So far, not much firecracker.
No chance to get Edwards.
Somebody let me know if, are they asking if she left early? What's going on?
Everybody's writing something down.
I know, and the umpire said.
And no, she didn't. No.
But he put his hands up, he did something, and he wrote something. It's a lot of somethings.
And not much explanation.
No. Don't worry about us, guys.
Yeah, we're good. Rudity flied out her first time up, takes the first pitch where the 1-0 is up and tight. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. And Clary now has missed with 6 in a row.
Aggressive running by Edwards. You know, the Tigers are down. Rudity was quick of feet to get back.
Good call by Jared Arrington, third base umpire.
Yeah, I thought she was hung up.
So 1 run in, runners at 2nd and 3rd, still nobody out here in the 4th. And Jaden Leno, who walked her first time up. Fouls the first pitch back, just got a piece of it. Leno with 11 runs batted in and in a prime RBI spot here.
Yeah.
Real shot, but instead Leno has her 5th stolen base in 5 tries this year.
And remember, Beth Torina has said this is the most athletic, fastest team in her regime as the LSU coach.
3 steals already tonight.
And the Tigers don't really run that much.
Breaking ball is in for a call strike. And the derisive cheer from the fans.
Yeah, I think the Cajun fans think the zone had gotten a little tight for them.
45 steals now for LSU this year. And this pitch cuts the plate at the knees.
And that's a little low, but he likes them low. So
Pitchers and hitters both have to adjust.
that's right.
Clary began her college career at Nevada. So Leno has to stay at second base. On the flip from Clary to Smith.
And she has the wherewithal to check the runner at second.
Avery Hodge struck out her first time up. Went down swinging to end the 2nd inning. And this pitch is on the inside corner.
Avery Hodge, a 2-time national champion at Oklahoma.
Now a conference rival, although the Tigers don't play Oklahoma
Nope, they don't play each other. I hate that. I hate that, you know, conference schools don't play each other, because to me it's not a true conference winner if you don't play everybody.
Conferences have gotten so big.
I know.
Really next to impossible to play everybody.
That, and it's next to impossible to remember which team it's in which conference.
1-1 just misses inside. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Well, you could do it. You just would be playing more conference games than out of conference. Take away some of those.
2-1 is up a little high, I guess. 3 balls and 1 strike. Hey.
Good effort by Deja Williams, but she'd have had to have been standing, I think, at the fence to make that play. Get a run. Allison Habits, I think, is kind of having a little conversation about the strike zone. Yeah, you can't argue balls and strikes, but we all kind of let them know.
Apparently you can discuss it a little.
We kind of let them know. You know, how's the weather? And the strike zone is terrible.
Might be also buying a little time for. I can't see the Cajun bullpen from
I'm going to have to ask Allison if she can speak French. I never thought of that, to go up there and, you know, let him know what you think in French. Then he doesn't know that you're being derogatory. Unless he knows
I don't know,
French.
some of these guys probably do.
Unless he knows French.
I'd be willing to bet that Mike Thibodeau over at first base.
Yeah, Thibodeau.
He knows a little bit,
you know,
just going by the name.
The generations, they've lost the language.
Change into Danica Coffey. Nice comeback pitch by Clary for strike 1. Coffey flied out to left in the first, flied out to right in the third. Hit both of them pretty well. 0-1 pitch. That's on the inside corner.
And she's 0 for 2
It's
tonight.
in the Tiger lineup.
It's not very often you see 0 for 2.
Here comes the 0-2. Missed that one inside. I do need to correct myself on one thing. I said Clary. She didn't play her entire career at Nevada. She actually played 1 year at San Diego coming out of high school before she went to Nevada, where she had a solid career.
West Coast, let's try the South.
1-2 pitch. That's up high. 240 plus innings and 80 plus appearances in her 3 years with the Wolfpack. Dugout. We'll be back to meet the new Cajun pitcher when we